looking relaxed in a cabinet meeting like no other, because no Spanish government has done this before. But with the authorities in Catalonia pushing to break away, Spain's Prime Minister is moving to exert direct control and limit Catalan autonomy.
We
apply Article 155 because no government of any democratic country can accept disregard for the law.
Last night, Spain's King Felipe firmly behind the Spanish government.
La España del siglo XXI.
Spain of the 21st century is a country that Catalonia is and always will be an essential part of, and we should root ourselves in loyalty and solidarity.
Catalonia is split over the question of independence, and there is anxiety over what the future will hold. But those who want independence say Madrid's tactics could backfire.
There will be peaceful protest, likely work to rule from civil servants, for example. The Catalans aren't just going to lie down and take it easily. There's no solution going this route.
But the measures announced by the Spanish government won't come thick and fast. Expect a careful, slow-running strategy to minimise the risk of making a tense situation in Catalonia even worse.
Tom Burridge reporting, well, ever since that referendum deemed illegal by Madrid on October the 1st, there's been a certain inevitability about where we have now reached today. Let's get more on that crisis cabinet meeting with our correspondent Guy Hedgecoe, who joins us now from Madrid. Guy, it's got to go through the Senate. That will happen, won't it? Because even though it's a coalition government, Mariano Rajoy has coalition backers to support him on this. So when do we think that direct control will be imposed?
Well, there's going to be a meeting of the Senate commission that's been set up to discuss these measures and the sort of technical aspects of how all this works this coming week. And then if all goes to plan, according to the Spanish government's plan, then possibly as soon as Friday, there will be a vote in the Senate here in Madrid on this issue. The Spanish government believes it has around 3/4 of the Senate chamber supporting it on this issue. So it's very confident it will be able to push that through.
But this is a massive headache for Madrid to impose direct rule. You've got 20,000 civil servants here, you've got a local police force of 17,000, you've got a TV station, you've got, for example, who collects all the traffic fines and the parking, speeding tickets here? All of that, potentially, I suppose, has to go back to Madrid.
Yes, that's right. And I think there are sort of two aspects to this triggering of Article 155. One is the sort of the symbolic aspect. We kind of knew this was coming for some time, as you said. It wasn't a great surprise, but it had a huge symbolic meaning, the fact it had never been used before. It's seen as kind of the nuclear option for Madrid. But also then you get down to the pure logistics of it. How do you implement this? How do you work the personnel here? It's going to be very difficult. I think the Spanish government realizes that. Again, it's never been done before. It's going to have to put the right people in the right places to make sure that civil servants are obeying Madrid and not being disloyal. But there'll be many more challenges throughout, whether it's dealing with the regional broadcaster, dealing with the regional police, which could be a particularly thorny issue, or any of these other areas which the Spanish government has decided to take control of.
And elections within 6 months, we understand. Just in terms of the political leaders, we've got 2 separatist leaders already being held in Madrid jails. They could be held, I think, I'm right in saying, for 4 years without even being charged, but they've been arrested on sedition charges. And presumably that would apply, would it, to Carles Puigdemont, the Catalan president, for holding what Madrid says is an illegal referendum and flouting the constitution.
Yes, that's right. I think that's one of the many sort of potential repercussions of this whole crisis. And I think Mr. Puigdemont was aware of that when he sort of pushed ahead with this whole independence roadmap, that he could be the target of some severe judicial action, possibly sedition. Just earlier this year, his predecessor as Catalan leader, Artur Mas, was barred from office for having staged a non-binding referendum on independence in 2014. That was a non-binding one. This referendum in October was much more serious than that. The stakes were much higher, so potentially the consequences could be much tougher for Mr. Puigdemont.
OK, Guy Hedgecoe, Madrid, thank you very much indeed. Although that referendum held on the 1st of October was through Catalan law, which again Madrid didn't recognise. Now, Carles Puigdemont himself, we understand, is going to be making a statement at 9 o'clock local time tonight. It'll be interesting to see what he says. But as I say, before that, we have this mass demonstration planned. Now, the history here in Catalonia is of non-violent confrontations. So we don't expect any violence as such today, but it'll be interesting to see how many people do actually come out on the streets in defiance or in opposition to what Madrid has just announced. Back to you in London.
Thank you, Tim. Tim Wilcox there in Barcelona.